Hi, I'm Kayla, the Booktube Turtle, and today is my 5-year Booktube anniversary. So, for this video, I decided that I wanted to go back and watch some of the videos that I made 5 years ago and react to them, because I haven't seen them since 5 years ago. And I've been kind of wanting to do something like this for a while, but I was like, you know what? We're gonna wait for the 5-year anniversary. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna see how this goes. I don't know. I haven't seen those videos in such a long time. But I do know that I was very, very awkward. So we're gonna find out, I guess. Yikes. Okay. I have seen this one more recently. Oh, it still says 4 years ago. I'm not actually filming this on the day of the anniversary. I'm filming it like the day before. I have seen this one more recently, but it's still probably like over a year ago. But I'm gonna click on this one. Oh my god. Already I'm just like, what is this music? This is back when I used the YouTube editor thing.
Hey,
Oh my god.
I'm Kayla, and this is my brother Dylan, and this.
So this is like obviously the first video I ever did, and I did it with my brother because I was just like, I'm so awkward, I need somebody here with me. Look how long
This is
my
my
hair
first
is.
video, and for the first one, I was planning on doing a fun little challenge thing. He probably won't think it's fun, but whatever. And he has a YouTube channel too about gaming, so if you're interested in that.
Does that channel even exist anymore? I bet it doesn't. At some point in this video, I give him my book, and I want to see that, because that's really funny.
Bonus round.
He looks so done.
Is this. This is the book that I wrote.
Oh my gosh, back when it was in a binder.
But I talk about it all the time.
And now here it is. It's full published form.
There's nothing on the back. It's a binder. So, it's called, I don't know if you can see, it's called Beyond the Gates.
Okay, we're gonna move on to the next video, which is my first, like, official video that I did by myself, which is, it's awkward. I haven't seen it in years, but I know it's awkward. Wait, when was this? Yeah, May 22nd. Booktube newbie tag. I'm scared, guys. I'm scared. What is this lighting? Oh my god. I forgot. I used to film videos in my closet because I was like so paranoid that somebody else in my house was gonna like hear me talking, and like that just always kind of freaked me out. So I used to film my videos in my closet, but that was also where my books were because I didn't have the bookshelf back. I don't know if you can see it right now, but I didn't have the bookshelf over there yet. So I used to film in there, and the lighting was so bad. What is this lighting? Oh my god. Yikes. Welcome to my channel, the Booktube Turtle. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a Booktube newbie tag. I can't. Oh my god! That was my old phone before I had an iPhone. It was like a very, very basic smartphone. And I decided that it was I'm so awkward. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? The, like, slicing between scenes is so abrupt. Literally, so many people on Booktube write. You're not special. When's the last time I made a writing video, guys? Kind of like a video series of kind of like documenting my Booktube experience and trying to figure out. I did do that, and I just recently brought it back for an episode. I cannot deal with this lighting. I'm like so washed out. That you don't hear about on Booktube. Like a lot of them will be books that are either like through Kindle, either free or like discounted books that are like self-published, Yeah, why didn't I just say that? Why didn't I just say I read a lot of indie books? God, I was so awkward. Apparently I was also reading The Assassin's Blade because there's a sticky note in there. Fantasy and science fiction and dystopian, as you can probably see. Yeah, that's not like 100% accurate anymore, I don't think. Like, I feel like I do definitely read fantasy. Dystopian's always gonna have a special place in my heart. But I feel like I've in recent years, I've been reading a lot more like contemporary and stuff like that. And like, I wouldn't say I read sci-fi that much. Like, if I'm reading sci-fi, it's more like in the subcategory of dystopian or like something like that instead of like actual hardcore sci-fi. And I feel like it's always kind of been like that. I just like did not fully understand the distinctions back then. I also don't read as much YA. Like, I still read predominantly YA, but I've read a lot more like adult and new adult lately, which I mean I'm also like older, because I was like 18 when I started this channel, or yeah, I was 18, and I was so very much like in a I'm only gonna read YA type of mindset, and it's just been like the last like year or two that I've kind of started to branch out. Oh, what was that transition? I do say still say it's the same little outro, except I'm less weird about it. God, I hate everything. Oh my god. This for the longest time was my highest viewed video, which is like only 183. It's like not anymore. I've got a few videos that are like significantly higher than that. I think my highest viewed video is the Ace video I made almost 3 years ago. Sorry for how awkward I am in this video. Oh my gosh. A lot of people commented on this though, and that made me feel really good. And I was just like, okay, I feel like I can do this. All right, let's go find another video to watch. What's next on here? Summer 2017 TBR. Hi, Booktube Turtle. I raised up my phone to look at what I'm gonna say next. Okay, back in the beginning, I literally like wrote out everything I was gonna say because that like just made it easier for me. Now when I make videos, like it's like just a bullet pointed list of like boom 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 so that I remember what to talk about. Like for example, like my monthly wrap up videos, I literally list out like I read this book, this is a good this book. Here's what I rated it, and then I like type a couple notes on like my general thoughts, and then I just kind of go from there. Which is maybe why me trying to describe the book in the moment is maybe not always the best description because I like don't think about it ahead of time. I just kind of go for it. But yeah, I used to like write out every single thing I was gonna say. I don't do that anymore. I don't got time for that. But I guess it was helpful for me back then. Today's video, these are books I found out about through Booktube, and I'm still catching up. All the books I'm gonna be talking about today is by seasons, so like for this one in the summer. I don't even do TBRs anymore. I don't even know if I did TBRs after like this first year of Booktube because I don't stick to them, so there's no point in me doing them. But yeah, I really did used to do these. It's wild. It's gonna be Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. This book came out May 23rd. What is I can't believe I have this like little pop-up. The first being Lady Midnight. This one is Gemina. It is the sequel to Illuminae, which I get the second one yet. I forgot about those books. I never read the third one. I want to like own them because they're really cool. It was so good. The Illuminae series, it's a trilogy. We don't need to know what it's about. It's okay. We don't need to know. We can move on. I want to know what other books I bring up. Really interesting, and one of the things I was writing the characters. God, I talk about this book forever. In such a unique way. I only have physical copies for the rest of these books, but the next one is. Ooh. Don't currently have physical copies for the rest of Why did I say it like that? Don't currently have physical copies of this book. It's like that's what I put on like my little outline of things to say, and I just like read it straight from there. I cannot.
But the next one is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson.
I've never read this.
Whose best friend disappeared.
I guess this was before I, like, knew how to put pictures up on the screen. But it was also the YouTube editor, so maybe you couldn't do that. Because, like, I obviously don't use that anymore. I have never read this book.
The second book in the Trials of Apollo series.
I don't think I ever read that either. Oh my god.
So this series takes place.
I don't think I read it because I have like that first book, but I never got the second one.
Books I want to read are the second and third books in the Darkest Minds trilogy by Alexander Bracken.
Oh god, I haven't read anything on this list. My first TBR ever, 5 years ago. Never completed it. Yeah, I read The Darkest Minds apparently 5 years ago, and I never went back to it. I need to though. Like, that's something that I've actually been like wanting to go back and like read the rest of The Darkest Minds. Well, like, I would need to read the first one again first because I haven't read it in 5 years. But there was like something went down at the end of book 1 and it made me mad. And so I was like, I need to take a break before I read book 2. And here we are 5 years later.
The next 3 books are all part of the Mara Dyer series. Book 1 is The Unbecoming.
Okay, I have read this. I've read this whole trilogy like several times, like at least 4 times, maybe more than that. So I did do something on this list. Yes, Mara Dyer is one of my favorites.
Writing goals for the summer.
I want to know what they were.
Working on a 4-book dystopian series for a little over a year.
Oh my god! It was only a year at that point. It's been 6 years now.
I currently have drafts of the first 2 books. For this summer, I want to finish the 3rd draft of book 1. I'm about halfway through draft number 3 right now, so I'm hopefully going to be finishing that up soon. I want to write the 2nd draft of book 2.
I want to write the 2nd draft of book 2. I didn't write the 2nd draft of book 2 until October. I started it October 2020. This was 2017.
I want to outline book 3 and be ready.
Outline book 3? I didn't outline book 3 until like a year ago? Less than a year ago? Yeet. Oof. I really thought I was gonna like be doing all of this stuff back then. I am much more realistic in the way that I think about my writing goals these days.
Ready to start writing it by fall.
I was planning to start writing the first draft of book 3 by fall 2017. I didn't start writing the first draft of book 3 until November 2021. What was I doing 5 years ago? And like now in like May 2022, I'm just now working on the beginning of draft 2 of this book. So
I don't know, that might seem like a lot doing.
It is. What is wrong with you?
I plan on making review discussion videos for all of the books I talked about today.
I didn't even read most of the books I talked about today.
I said at the beginning, if you want to know more information about these
God,
books,
okay, we're done with this one. We're done. We're leaving. Bye. My first adventures of Booktube.
Hi, I'm Kayla, Booktube Turtle. Today,
Look at these empty walls! Well, okay, that's one of them would still be empty. I don't know what I'm talking about. My desk now, though, like, goes all the way up to the edge of that door. On the other side of the door, right now, there's a bunch of pages up because of a project I'm working on that I am going to one day make a video on. I've been telling myself I'm going to make a video about this project for, like, months. I will. It's gonna happen eventually. It's gonna happen. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
about cameras and lighting.
Oh my god.
So, like I said,
I have no chill.
Sitting in a room by myself and talking to a camera is really strange.
See, that's so interesting, because, like, I still do that, and I just don't care anymore. Like, it's normal to me because I've been doing it for so long that it's crazy that I used to feel weird about it. Because, like, I just don't anymore. Like, I don't care.
So just to show a little of what I'm talking about, roll awkward first video footage. Do we do it at the same time? Booktube.
Say anything now?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I'm do this. I'm just gonna stuff out.
Look how young little Dylan is. How old was he there? If I was 18-ish, he was like 15. That's wild. He's almost 21 now.
I need to end this video now, but how does one do that?
How does one do that?
Okay. So
It just sighs. Like, me then in this video thought that was awkward. Me now, watching all of this, I'm just like, wow.
I've definitely learned that talking to a camera and the whole setup of videos and everything takes some adjusting. However, I feel like I've gotten a lot more comfortable since that first video.
I have not. I mean, maybe I have, but like, not compared to now.
Was that I do look at the camera, but a lot of times I just start looking off to the side like this. Like I don't know what I'm talking to. It's just really
I think I still kind of do that sometimes, where I just kind of like look around, but I feel like it's less awkward.
You can definitely see it in my TBR video. My booktube tag video. I only started branching out and reading more when I discovered booktube. So some of these
See, what do I mean, what are you doing? That's just how your eyes work. When you're talking and you're thinking about things, your eyes wander. Why was I so confused about this?
will be new releases, but a lot of them are books that have been out a while. These are books
Like, was I wanting myself to just, like, look dead into the camera the entire time? Like,
found out about my booktube and I'm still okay, so
I also used to look down a lot. I don't know if I talked about this in this video or not, but I used to, like, look down because I was reading from the script. And now, anytime I have to look down to, like, remind myself of, like, my next talking point, which I don't have to do as much because I'm not, like, reading word for word what I said or what I wanted to say, I do it in a way where I, like, scan the page of, like, okay, this is what I want to talk about next, and then I look back up before I start talking. That way I could just, like, cut that little piece out instead of, like, looking down and up while my mouth is still going, because then you can't cut it out because you're talking. My history as a writer, oh.
as you can see, I'm in a different location.
This is back when I was like, I'm gonna have different locations for, like, depending on, like, the theme of the video. So I was like, specifically book videos, I'm gonna do in my closet in front of my bookshelf, and, like, behind the scenes videos, like, the adventures of Booktube, and, like, challenge videos and stuff, I'm gonna do in front of my closet door, and then, like, writing related videos, I'm gonna go sit by my, like, turtle cabinet. I don't do that anymore. Now I'm either in front of my bookcase over there, or I don't feel like setting up a tripod, and I literally film at my desk. Why wasn't this tripod raised up higher?
They're all in here.
Like, so the top of my head isn't cut off, and so that you don't see the chair.
I was physically able to write. Like, I can't remember a time when I wasn't coming up with ideas. And the first chapter book I ever wrote, this series, like, I started it in 6th grade when I was 11, and I planned it out as, like, this 6-book series.
I cannot believe that I really was out there thinking I was gonna write 6 books. Okay.
It was about twin sisters. I don't know what my deal was with twins at the time, but, like, a lot of my story ideas would involve twins.
Shout out to Beyond the Dark. I do have twins in the 3rd book of my series as kind of like a little shout out to my childhood when I like to write stories about twins. The twins in, like, Beyond the Dark aren't, like, main characters or anything. They're, like, side characters. Obviously, if they were main characters, you would know them by now. But,
I wrote the first 4 books of the series, and when I say
that's
wrote,
true.
I mean,
No, that is not true. That's not true. I never finished book 4. I got tired of book 4 and I, like, skipped to book 5. I did most of, like, I did a lot of the writing while I was in middle school, and then in high school I kept trying to, like, fix book 1 because I was like, I really want to do something with this, and it just never worked, and I eventually moved on.
Book 1 was not even 100 pages. It was, like, 62 pages or something like that.
Back when I didn't write much, and I called it a book, and now I write 120,000 words, and I'm like, oh god, I had to trim this down to 100K, I don't know how to do that.
Like, these are not full-length novels that I was writing at, like, 12 years old. I interestingly longer. I haven't looked at them in a while. But when
Sometimes I do think about that original series that I wrote, though, and I'm like, you know, I would maybe go back to it one day if I, ever wanted to write, like, a middle grade story. Um, and, like, I would just change everything and to make it actually good and not the disaster mess that it was back then. But I did like the characters and a lot of, like, the story plot ideas that I had.
And like rewrite it because I kind of know more about what I'm doing now. But that didn't last long. The thing was,
I keep looking down so weird.
I kind of just went with whatever. During this time, I was getting ideas for other books. So
like, listen, I will say, I do sometimes go back and, like, read those books because I still have all of the documents and stuff. And there's a character, his name is Ben, and he was my first favorite character of, like, my own. We all know now that Jesse is my favorite and I love him more than anything. But Ben was the first.
time I do go back and look at it and it's just, I cringe so hard because it's so bad. I mean, I guess it could be considered good for an 11-year-old, but looking at it now, I'm just like, oh, why?
And then me now, looking at stuff I wrote in high school after I moved on from this series, I'm just like, what even is that? Yikes. I mean, now sometimes, even, like, my published book, like, Beyond the Gates, I'm just like, why did I do that? Which is, the feelings, they're not as strong because, like, obviously, I feel like the book is very solid, but I still question some things sometimes. Sometimes, as I'm writing book 3, I'm just like, I want to do this, but then I remember that I can't because book 1 and 2 are already published, and that would create a contradiction to the published books, and I can't change it. I can't change anything. I can't go back and change stuff because they're already published, but it's fine. It's fine.
That I was pretty serious about for a while that I wrote after I was called Deadly Lies of a Chameleon. Wrote it.
Sometimes I wonder, or sometimes I think about going back to that book eventually too, but, like, I can't, I don't think, without basically creating a whole new story because I took so many elements from that book and just, like, injected them into Beyond the Gates. Like, I don't even think I necessarily realized I was doing that at the time. But a lot of Deadly Lies went into Beyond the Gates, so, like, that book can't really go anywhere as it is. But I really like the characters and I kind of miss them sometimes. But if I ever did anything with it, I have to, like, completely change the story, like, the plot side of things, because there's a lot of similarities Beyond the Gates, which, like, Deadly Lies of a Chameleon, it's not dystopian. It's more like, I don't even know what it is, honestly, but it's like, so, like, the plot isn't necessarily similar to Beyond the Gates, but there's enough little things that have been taken and put into Beyond the Gates that I couldn't keep Deadly Lies the way it is now. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
From December 2015 to about March 2016. I got about halfway through it. I think it was close to
Oh my god, I forgot about this. I stopped writing. I got halfway through the book and I stopped writing it because I was so mad at a character in my own story. I was so mad at him that I was just like, I cannot. And I just stopped writing it, which doesn't make any sense. I'm like, what was I doing? Because, like, I don't do that now. Like, I might get frustrated, but, like, in a different way. It's more of, like, I don't know. I also outline better than I used to, so I don't think I knew what was going to happen after I hit that midpoint. But yeah, there's no way I would do something like that now. I can't believe I did that.
70,000 words, so I got pretty far into it and stopped for.
Yeah, that was what is that face? That was the longest thing I'd ever written so far. It was like 74,000 words when I stopped writing it, so.
So my current series is a 4-book dystopian series told from the perspectives of 2 main characters, a boy and a girl. I'm going to have a separate writing video all about my current series.
Does that video still exist?
So if you're a writer watching this, you can
Hold on.
and share some of your
Hold
thoughts
on.
and experience.
Do I still have that video of, like, my current writing experiences? I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. I think I took it down. because I realized, here's what I realized. Oh, you can't see my face. I had a video like talking all about Beyond the Gates, but I spoiled so much stuff. Like I was just saying everything. I don't know. I think I didn't want people to like think that my book was like super cliche and stuff just by saying like, oh, it's about a girl who's like raised in this government organization and then she finds out that they're bad, now she's trying to take them down. Like I didn't want people to like think that it was like, oh, it's super cliche and it's been done before. So I was like saying all of the plot twists and like all of the stuff that's like unique to my own book, which like some of it is fine, but like I gave away one of the biggest plot twists in that video because I remember my mom watched it. She was just like, maybe you shouldn't say this online. And it's like, you're right. So I think I made that video private. So it's not, I don't think it's up there anymore at all. Now if you want to know what it's about, I got a whole description on Amazon, Goodreads, Barnes & Noble. But I really did that. I was just like, let me just spoil my whole book and give away all the huge plot twists. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, that's really funny to me that I did that. Have I been filming for 47 minutes? Wow, okay, I guess we're gonna end here because this has gone on a lot longer than I thought it was. I just like really got into watching these videos. So yeah, I can't believe I've been on Booktube for 5 years. I'm so grateful for everybody who has been on this journey with me, whether you've been here from the very first video I posted or if you recently found me. I appreciate all of you and I'm excited to see what happens next and to continue talking about books on here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of this video. Yeah, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.